I'll invite all our speakers to come join on stage for a panel so we can do some questions and answers. And I'm also going to ask Jeff Keller, who's the Executive Vice President for Health Systems and Biobanks at DNA Nexus, and for Mark Effingham, who is our Deputy CEO at UK Biobank, to come join us for some questions. We will be here answering these, so please don't stray. Is this one on? Great. So thanks all for joining, to our speakers. Those were all excellent on-time talks. But let me direct the first question to Mark. Can you speak a bit, Mark, about how the success of the RAP moving forward compares to the success of the RAP today?
Thanks, Will. Okay, really good question. So I hope reassuringly similar. I think the talks that we've heard today, you get a sense of the effort that's gone in over the last 12 months to make progress against the commitments we set out this time last year. So investments into the scaling of the platform to support the growing number of users that you've seen. Investments in new functionality, particularly for the imaging community, who we know found it more difficult to make that transition to the platform. And investments in the training and support, with new training modules coming through, some of which will be indeed cool. So I think a lot of work has been done. I think what you've heard today as well, though, a key focus for Biobank is on securing access to primary care data. We know how transformative that will be for both the breadth and the quality of research that can be done using the UK Biobank resource. It is in touching distance, and we are grateful for continued support from government and clear leadership to get that over the line. One of the commitments that we've made is about how we further improve upon the security controls within the platform, such that only summary data can be egressed, and hence the focus on building out an airlock capability into the platform is an important thing we need to do before we can make the primary care data available to researchers. Now, this is a first-of-a-kind challenge, because when you look at UK Biobank, with of the order of 5,000 publications, preprints in the last year, each of which will require summary data egresses to inform the publications, this has to be an automated approach, which hasn't been done before. So it requires considerable focus from the team to get this right. Now, procuring an airlock is just one of several procurements that we need to do, as Mark set out. We will need to re-procure for our cloud infrastructure, and then we will need to go and re-procure for our new research analysis platform or platforms. These are all complex endeavors which do require focus so that we can get the quality right, which Biobank has become renowned for. To create that space, we therefore intend to extend the existing arrangements with DNA Nexus and with AWS for at least the next 2 years, to give us that space to focus on that work. But this is really important because I think it provides surety to researchers. We've already seen those researchers make the transition to the platform environment. As Mark mentioned, 3,500 active researchers each month, 15,000 registered, and that number continues to grow. So we'll be looking to focus our efforts on building out the airlock capabilities. Rory mentioned this morning about how we want to have that in place with primary care data accessible in the second half of next year. We'll be looking to move towards re-procuring cloud infrastructure through 2026. And when we know what that will be, we'll then start the focus on re-procuring our future research analysis platform in 2027. Such that it can be available in 2028 in a managed transition. We want to give that confidence to researchers that the investments they're making today, by moving their analyses into the platform, they can do that with surety and confidence that it will be there for an extended period of time. So a great deal of work done, much more we need to do. I think we do need that input from researchers to help make sure we get this right, and really do encourage you to engage with the new Researcher Voices program to get that feedback into the team.
Great. So let me interject with one question, and then we'll hit the crowd. But Jeff, given that DNA Nexus has supported the wrap for the last, I think I did the math, 4.5 years, plus some build, can you describe with everything that we've heard today in terms of the new data types, the new capabilities, and the new demands on the system, in 2026, what should the research community expect from DNA Nexus on the wrap?
Yeah, great question. And I think the overarching theme, and we're talking about it as a team today, is just growth, right? I mean, the growth has been absolutely staggering, certainly from 2021, but even if you just isolate 2025, 40% increase of usage, 6,000 new registered users, all the new data that's come on that we talked about. So I think the diversity and utility and use cases that are coming to the platform have exceeded sort of our wildest dreams when we first sort of started this journey together with UK Biobank, and it's super gratifying. The work that was presented here today is truly inspiring, truly cutting edge stuff, and it's a privilege to be able to serve the mission. I think the challenge with that is that we've got to keep up, and we've got to be responsive to and listen to and understand all the new demands of a bunch of really smart, ambitious scientists with a bunch of great new data coming out of the platform, implementing their research methodologies, and what does that mean from an infrastructure perspective? And so we've really sort of been, on an ongoing journey to continually improve, continually respond to the user base, the researcher community, and that's going to continue into 2026 and beyond. So certainly scalability of the platform has been a through line and a theme. Our cohort browser is getting investment and getting upgrades right now that you'll see in early 2026. We're introducing an AI-enabled omics data assistant that will make the platform even more usable for those who may not be command line savvy, who may be looking for more of a sort of a push-button GUI kind of experience to further democratize the access to that data, and then continuing to deliver sort of more specialized and focused tools and technologies in response to the feedback from everyone in this room. So lots to come, lots in flight, and we're really excited about what's ahead.
Great. I'm going to jump out to the crowd before I come back with a couple of questions of my own, and I see I don't know what the order is supposed to be. I see a 2 raised. So whoever's 2.
Hello, this is Ron Strauch from Paradigm 4. We have customers in the biotech and pharmaceutical industry who really appreciated being able to download the data, and they currently feel the walled garden approach makes it really hard for them to integrate existing tooling and pipelines. And so the question is, would you consider in the future having, let's call it a premium tier for a better word, that would allow downloading anonymized data similar to how is possible for consortium members? Would that be a thing?
Perhaps if I can kick off with that, maybe Mark wants to then kind of comment. So I guess our focus in the short term is about how do we make the research analysis platform kind of much better for all researchers. I think we've made some good strides, but need to do more. I think one of the things that we have looked at putting in place, which Mark referenced in his session, was this kind of concept of certified third-party trusted research environments. We don't think there'll be many of these, to be fair, but we do recognize that there are certain use cases where it may be helpful to be able to kind of operate in an environment which is being shown to be as equivalent, if you like, to the security that's offered by RAP. One of the short-term focus areas is on work with UK government. They've made quite substantial investment within high-performance computing infrastructure within the UK, so Isambard AI and Dawn, and we have set out plans to work with them to see how that capability can be set up as a certified, trusted research environment. And again, I think we'll be looking at the progress with that, looking at the lessons learned, and see how we extend that going forward.
Yeah, just in terms of other comments. So I think the TRE approach, trusted research environment approach, It's matured considerably over the last 5 years. This space is moving quite quickly, and my team has been looking at the current state of the art. One thing I will say is that from talking to other cohorts and other studies is that no one is truly satisfied with their TRE today. The industry has not got there yet. That's something we're looking at. I'd like to think we can do better than a pure walled garden, that we can just make it so that you can bring data in, that we can make sure the controls are appropriate so you can do the research you need. I mean, Rory keeps drilling in very clearly. There's no point having the data if we can't do the research. So we need to figure this out and look very much to your feedback.
Thanks. We got next three in the back.
Yeah, hi, I'm Kevin Garwood. I'm the data architect for Our Future Health. I just want to say it's been a great panel you guys have had. And my question is, what has your biggest challenges been for acquiring, managing, and sharing returned results from the studies? Some of you might have some kind of thoughts and insights on that.
So our researchers have always returned results to us. It's been a part of our agreement with researchers since the start. I'd say actually our researchers overwhelmingly are really keen to share what they're doing for other researchers to work with the analyses they've done, the data they've derived. If you look at our imaging data, for instance, that's been enormously enhanced by imaging-derived phenotypes, by additional measures and images, which researchers are so keen for us to make available for others to be able to use. I think, we have a really fantastic community of researchers. Maybe we're just incredibly lucky. But, everyone is very willing, very happy for people to be using their work, to be sharing their work, to be using their tools. Yeah.
It's worth adding that there is a lot of complexity and effort on the UK Biobank side to be able to receive kind of return data sets. Quite often they are the things that are done towards the end of a project, and when the researchers submitted their paper, they're on to their next piece of work, and the level of kind of commenting and support, documentation that they provide with the return data perhaps isn't where we'd like it to be. So we do want the researchers to kind of work with us to make it easier to be able to curate and incorporate those return data sets into resource. Given the scale of the applications and use of the data set, it is a growing challenge, and therefore we do need to look at how we take a kind of strategic approach, because there is real value in those data sets so that researchers can build upon the experiences of those that came before them.
Great. I want to try to get in two more questions from the audience because I see them out there. I think I have 4 and then 2. So 4 next.
Thanks. Trevor Howe, J&J. Will and Mark, you've probably heard this from me before, but since we're talking about the TRE, and everybody's hit the right buttons. We've just heard from Our Future Health. We've heard about DNA Nexus and why they want to work in the UK with UK Biobank. We've heard from AWS why the UK is a great place. As I say, OFH, GEL, we have multiple TREs. Delighted to hear about the way that they're going to be developed. And is there going to be a discussion now the HDRS is happening and Nicola Blackwood's in place? So is that part of your 2-year time run?
If I take that, so no, there's no connection that with the 2-year time run. I think it's really reflecting where we need to be focused in the short term and to give that kind of confidence to researchers over the 2 years ahead. I think we collaborate with both Our Future Health, with Genomics England, with the NIHR Bioresource as well. I think we need to do more about how we can make these data sets more accessible so that researchers can work across them where they have kind of access. I think how you approach that is at multiple levels. We need to be investing more in some of the standardization of data formats so that when you have access to different studies, you know what you're working with. So I think the focus of HDRS to try and knit these things together, I think will be helpful. But again, we wait to see what will emerge from some of that ambition.
Great. Under the wire, number 2.
Robin Walters, Oxford, wondering what plans there might be to improve the billing and financial management tools within DNA Nexus. At the moment, if your institution requires you to put money into a wallet via purchase order, there's a minimum of £10,000. Any researcher I then add to that wallet has access to that full £10,000. There's no way to split the money, as far as I'm aware, according to the documentation, and allocate that to different researchers to assign quotas or to have sub-wallets. So what seems to me and colleagues would be a fairly simple modification would greatly enhance the manageability of using the wrap.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's a fair point. Not the first time we've heard this feedback as well, and it's an ongoing discussion between ourselves and UK Biobank in terms of the policy and where those thresholds are set. There's some thought that the new limits of the £1,000 from Wellcome, very generously funding some folks getting started, will address some of that and cause people or give people the ability to experience the platform before committing funding at that level. But certainly it's something under continual discussion that I think we're trying to quantify and understand the additional amount of sort of what it would mean to undertake that on our end and sort of what it would mean platform usage-wise. There certainly is a segment of folks who would benefit from that, and we're cognizant for sure.
So the red light is flashing extremely bright and fast. I think that means we're at time. So I want to thank our panel for the talks, the answers to the questions. Thank UK Biobank for setting this up. And thank all of you. Mark, I think you said it really well, that none of these environments are perfect, but it is this conversation that pushes us there. So thank you all for participating in this.